see. I gotta scoot over some. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. I've also got a fan blowing on me, so you can let me know if you hear that. Might need to tilt it down a little. It might be blowing on the mic. I'm using my 5-drawer as my iPad holder. I'll wait a few minutes and see if anybody else gets in here other than the ones that already knew about it before I explain why I didn't have a live. You guys already know. Then I'll just have to explain it again. Drinking the Squirt Zero. We were talking about Cokes, Pops, sodas, colas. Squirt's one of those things that I'm starting to see more often, but there for a while I didn't see it very often. And then the things I remember I used to drink, I see them every now and then still, whenever I was younger, is the knee-high peach. And I think they had a knee-high grape as well, but the knee-high peach was one of the things I drank a lot of. You need to explain pumpkin spice oatmeal cream pies. No thanks. Yeah, Miss Maintenance is a big pumpkin spice fan. I don't like pumpkin stuff that much. Now, whenever I was a kid, and this might be why I don't like pumpkin pie or pumpkin stuff that much. I loved pumpkin pie whenever I was a kid, and it was one of those things where my grandma knew that I loved it. So every time I'd come to her house, like she'd make pumpkin pies galore. So then I kind of got to where I was sick of them because like I just ate them to death. And it isn't that I don't like pumpkin stuff. It's just it's not my thing these days. Yeah, they put it in everything. Like there's pumpkin spice everything. And some of like I still probably would eat pumpkin pie over like a pumpkin spice something because the pumpkin spice stuff, they put it so much in everything now that it's almost like sometimes it's very chemically tasting when you drink something that's supposed to have it, or if you eat some kind of just random thing that has pumpkin spice in it, it's some kind of like flavoring less than pumpkin. Sweet potato pie, pretty much about the same thing. I've always felt like that and pumpkin pies they taste pretty identical. The Reese's Oreo Blizzard's good, I can imagine. It's 4:30 now, so yeah, so once a year we go for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and do like a retreat at a camp that's kind of close. It's got like a lodge and cabins, and several of us in our congregation went and helped build the cabins and stuff like that when they were building this. So we kind of we support the place anyways, and then we kind of go there once a year and kind of just spend some time out in the middle of nowhere type thing. So that's where we were Thursday. I came home Thursday because I actually had to go meet a commercial customer on Friday. So I came home and slept Thursday at home and then went to the town I work in Friday and then went back. And I thought I might end up being home on Thursday about the time I normally do the live, but we didn't get home till pretty late. So what's up, Abraham? I worded it makeup party. I thought we might get some more viewers in here instead of make up party. It's the makeup party. Green brings out your eyes. What's up, Denny? Sizzle neck. What's up, Jamie True? Yeah, so that's where I was Thursday. And then next Thursday, I know won't be a problem, I don't think. And then I'm curious to see the next time. I've been out here now that I've got the roof on when it's been raining, and I can hear it actually hitting my truck over there more so than anything in the building. So I'm hoping one of these days we're gonna have a live and it's raining. But the Thursday after this one coming up, it's gonna be another one of those maybe not things. I'm not real sure yet. What's up, Wings and Pizza? The make out party. Yeah, so I was supposed to get my siding for. I'm putting up like 4x8 siding because that's what I've got on part of my house. So it's gonna it's the LP Smart side, like the 4x8 sheets, not horizontal but vertical. And I ordered it. I thought I was going to be getting it Monday, and it ended up coming Thursday morning before I left to go to the camp. So I unloaded all. I've got what goes on the outside of my building in here in the floor in this garage. And then I found it like a 4x7 sheet of it was like half the price of a 4x8 sheet. So I was like, man, that's super cheap for that. So I'm not doing that on the outside because I don't want to get into extra flashings and extra trims. I mean, I could make something look nice with trim outside using 4x7 sheets, but then you get into more flashings and stuff outside since it's outside. So I bought the 4x7 sheets. I'm going to use that for the inside walls. And then I'm going to do the 7 foot and then do another 1 foot piece like at the bottom in the main area. And then I'm going to run all my electric and stuff in that. And then that way, if I want to add more electric later or whatever, I can just take off those 1 foot pieces, run more wire, add a plug, whatever. And then in the areas where I'm going to do the shelving, I'll just put the 7 foot piece all the way up, and then my top shelf will be at 7 foot. So that'll work out to where you're not going to see any of the joints. So I got like 100 sheets of LP Smart side sheathing in my garage, in my enclosed trailer. So I went and picked all that stuff up this week too. But I haven't worked on my building much because I've been waiting on the siding to come in. Not drinking coffee tonight. How dare you have a life? Yeah, every now and then stuff just hits to where, certain days you can't do stuff. That's the one thing about like saying I'm going to do something every single this day. Sometimes that's not going to work out. You don't get a say sometimes in how certain days of the year is going to go. You could do 70s masonite panels for a rich mahogany feel. Yeah, see the 4x7 sheets of the LP stuff are $19, and like by the time you can't even hardly buy OSB for that. And I don't like the look of OSB. If I was going to put plywood on my walls, I'd want regular plywood, which you're not going to get for that price. And it's already primed, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and get that. Did you get the garage door and the window? Not yet. I think the window's supposed to come the 10th. So, see, maybe next week, I guess. Be about a week from today. So maybe next Friday, possibly. So I probably won't get it, though, until the next week, I bet. So, and then the garage door, I haven't heard from them yet. They told me 3 weeks. It's this week coming up is probably about the 3rd week. So maybe that's coming soon, too. I've already got them all trimmed out. Like I've got my jams and all the trim and stuff on my garage door done. I trimmed this garage door and this main door back. I've got it done. And what I did was I took which sometimes a lot of people take their trim. They take their LP stuff to the trim anyways and then do that. But I went ahead and did a rabbet around my trim to where I'm going to slide my sheathing back in behind my trim, and then I'm going to put caulk in there, slide it into it, and then caulk it as well. And then because I've got vinyl trim, so I don't have to worry about like painting that little inside thing or anything like that. How was the permitting process where you live? Now, where I work is totally different than where I live. Where I live, not they don't really care. You still have to pull permits and stuff for certain type thing, like if you're building a house or all that kind of stuff like that. Where I work, you've got to. It's just like probably working at most other places in the city that I work in. Those same people will come out here where I live, like if you are doing a permitted job and inspect it. But for the most part, it's mostly just brand new construction is all they're looking for. They don't really look about people adding on to their garages or doing anything like that. Matt says I try to prime the back side of the smart side with kills, make it last longer. I think I'm going to do that on the at least the bottom part of mine where it's getting closer to the ground because I've got this section over here. I was originally going to put. I got this side over here is pretty close to the ground. Like it's actually closer to the ground, which I've got it. I've got it piled up right now, so it's flat. I'm going to actually move some of that dirt. It won't be as close. Like once I'm all said and done, I did it so I didn't put like a ditch or anything in right now because I'm working off ladders on it and I didn't want to mess with it. But the it's going to be closer than probably what the recommended height is for it to stay off the ground. But I'm going to probably do the same thing, at least the back side at the bottom half of that. And then I'm also going to take probably roofing felt and staple it onto my zip sheathing down onto my concrete and let it hang down even past where my siding's going to go. Put the siding up there. That way I can go back and touch up paint and do whatever and cut in. I don't have to worry about cutting into my block or anything like that. And then just go back and cut the whatever's hanging out off. That's what I'm thinking about doing. But I've got a bunch of, it's like everything. I kind of allowed myself a certain amount of time of not doing many jobs, bigger jobs, so that I could work on this. And then I was just going to town doing smaller stuff. But that's kind of all caught up because just certain things caused me a week delay here or a week delay there. So I went and framed a wall last week. I went and delivered the drywall Thursday while I was in town meeting that customer. So I got to go Monday, hang that drywall, start finishing it. And then I got to paint and install a door, do trim and all that kind of stuff. I've got a couple people that's got large exterior front doors I got to swap out. So I'm starting to get to where I've got work is going to be holding me up more on this than what it has been in the last little bit, which I'm fine with now at this point because I'm dried in to the most part. So I don't have to worry about water getting in here anymore or all that kind of stuff. So not too worried about it other than it's going to cause me a delay of me getting it done. The old caulk and slide. Wings and pizza where I live, it's awful for anything. Yeah, and it's totally different even in the I work in the city most of the time. So we have a city process for permits, and then we have a county process, and they're different. Like the city, a whole lot more requirements in the city than in the county. And then I live in kind of the next county, which is a lot different than even those two. So it's totally different, depends on where you live, even within the same area. So you see people on YouTube all the time doing things a certain way, and that's because wherever they're specifically working at, and you think, well, that's a different state or whatever, so they just do stuff differently. But it can be drastically different, even from a city to a county, and then from one county to the next county. Did I look at the Seal Gun Pro in aluminum? No, I haven't seen the aluminum version. So like the little half caulk gun, the silly gun or whatever that is that we're talking about. I haven't seen the aluminum version. We had a short siding panel. We ran hardy plank on the bottom to make up the gap in utility buildings. See, originally I could have made it all match more so on this side than that one. So like you obviously can't see it now, but if you've watched the video, so I've got LP and then I hit my block where I've got block over there because everything from on this thing is just concrete. Like I poured the concrete with this slab on the two sides, and then over there I did a block foundation because I dug it out so deep to get to the 12-foot ceiling so I can put my enclosed trailer in there. Well, I had to make the choice. I either make my block barely sticking up out of my ground and then all my stuff be really close to the ground, or I bring this concrete up super tall to where I've got a big step to get up into these storage things instead of it being even with this. Or I do what I ended up doing and I pour the two side things even with this, and then I leave my block up a little higher, but that's going to make me have to do something with my, siding, which I'm not doing horizontal siding. If I was doing horizontal siding, what I've done would be a mess, trying to figure that out because it's different on this side even than that side. But it's going to work out. Like I said, it's a garage. It's not my house. I don't really, and by the time you put landscaping or something like that in, you're never even going to see that transition and all that kind of stuff. Hummingbird proof. I haven't had one yet. Sent the link in the chat. Okay, all right, I must have missed it. Going to need to be replacing a wooden porch. What options do I have for tongue and groove that won't break the bank? Is it a wooden porch ceiling that you're wanting to do tongue and groove? Or are you talking about, is it like a enclosed porch where you're doing the floor and you want to do it tongue and groove and have it more like a finished floor? Because the only time you don't really want to do that is if it's outside and you're going to get rain and stuff on it. You don't want a floor that like ultimately doesn't drain really, especially if it's not pitched right and all that kind of stuff. Well. There's some way. Some way was the guest of trade today. Covered porch over a garage. So the ceiling is probably what you're talking about then, like a covered porch. A lot of times there's like in my community, there's like Amish places and stuff like that mill their own tongue and groove stuff. And then there's also like there's one place where the camp where I was talking about that's why I wasn't able to be here on Thursday. We went and built a lot of their cabins, and all their floor on the inside of the cabins was tongue and groove, like the subfloor and flooring kind of all in one type thing. And then all the ceilings were tongue and groove, and they got theirs from like a local sawmill, and it was way cheaper than going to any kind of store, like for sure. But that would all just depend on if you just so happen to have, something like that in your area. The floor of the porch over the garage. But does it get any water at all? Like the floor that you're talking about, going to get water? Like rain, like if it rains, does it get wet? Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's probably not a ton of, because I don't know how you do, I don't know that you'd want to do like a tongue and groove and lock it all together, and then it gets wet and water sits on it. Like a deck, for instance, there's usually that gap, that allows the water to get off of it. Like I said, now if it's pitched right and you've got it 100% solid and the water runs off of it and then it dries and the water runs off on it and it dries, it would last okay, but the mills are definitely a lot cheaper. Like I remember, I can't remember what the price difference was whenever we were doing it because they were buying everything. We were just doing it. But I remember the guy telling me it was significantly cheaper. Because on the floors there, we were using like 5/4 tongue and groove or something along those lines, but it was for the subfloor, floor, whole 9 yards of those, like these little small cabins for people to stay in. Yeah, and then I went to a commercial space. I've got to get together a bid on that for basically going in and, drywall damage galore, all where people just stuck stuff all over the walls. I mean, and everything you peel off is going to peel the paper off and then repaint the whole entire thing. And then I also went and bid a job. A guy's got a sunroom and he's wanting all his windows changed out, and he's going to have insulation blown into the walls, and then he wants siding put on the outside. So I went and looked at that last week too. Someway says, what's the deal with the Nostr subcompact clips? They're still not on Amazon. He told me that whenever he said they were having an issue with Amazon working out something or doing something. And again, take that with a grain of salt. I can't remember exactly how he phrased it in the email, so I'm not speaking on the behalf of Nostr. But he was telling me that they weren't going to be available on Amazon, at least not right away, or I don't even know if ever, because they were having a hard time working out something with Amazon. I don't remember what it was he said. So I saw the Klein little ratchet kit is now on Klein's website too, but it's also, I think, on House of Tools. But I think it's like one of those extended delivery, you know, which means they don't really have it yet, but you can order it and they'll ship it as soon as they get it. So hopefully that means, though, that it's about to hit like other stores as well. I can't imagine that it's not going to be at Lowe's, since Lowe's has all these, but we'll see, I guess. Tempted to get that M18 light kit. Yeah, so Matt saw the M18 Rover in my truck, so I can't show it to you, but M18 Rover also came with like the Milwaukee pin light and a battery, I think. I can't remember what battery, but for $149, it wasn't a bad deal. I really like that light. Like I said, it's definitely the light I use the most so far out of all of my bought. There's a Trex, not sure about the brand, decking that clips together like tongue and groove, but has a built-in gutter to drain the water, but has to be pitched correctly. Patrick P said, I think I've seen that too. I believe I've seen some people install that on YouTube. That all those, matter of fact, it might have been like I think the Perkins Builder Brothers, if I want to say, Eric like put it on something on his house, like he had a very similar situation, like the porch above his garage door or something or other was, and basically the water goes into the grooves and it works like a gutter system. Yeah, so I haven't got anything major done on the building because I've been waiting on siding, and then even with that, I'm still waiting on the window because I can't even finish the siding really until I get that window in. And then I haven't done anything on my porch area because I want to get all my siding and stuff up here on the front first. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. That's why I went ahead and put the trim up here and all that kind of stuff, because then I can start working on that porch, because I didn't want to put all my porch stuff up and then cut my siding to fit it. I'd rather my siding just go up, and then that way I don't have to worry about cutting the top and all that kind of stuff, and I can let it ride up in there, and then I can make the porch fit up in there with the siding already on it type thing. So I kind of really haven't done a whole lot on my garage since even I made that video. Like I said, the only thing I've really done is prepare the garage door opening, and then I went ahead and put the trim on these because I had it ready. Project Pine Hill said the client told him that it should be live on Lowe's imminently. So I said I figured Lowe's would end up having it since they had the other ones. Like, it wouldn't make sense to me that Lowe's isn't going to carry this one, you know, and they had the other one. So hopefully it'll be there. What's been the biggest pain point of your build so far? Ooh, just being, some of the stuff was more so just the by yourself and with one other person, just the maneuvering of it all and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you got to do some weird stuff working by yourself, especially like you got to build a whole lot of extra stuff to hold something while on one end while you're doing the other and all that. But there for a long time, it was the weather was the biggest pain. And again, that's why I don't do a lot of, like, I don't bid a lot of exterior work. I don't do a lot of exterior work just because of, again, if you work for yourself, there's no room in scheduling to, oh, I can make that up and get to wherever I'm going because I'm going to send this person over there to finish that up, and I'll go ahead and start this job that I told the customer I was going to start today. You can't do that when you work for yourself. You got to get done with whatever you're doing. So like anything that happens, if you've got your schedule, which I purposely don't fill mine up because again, I work by myself, so it gives me a little bit more leeway. But you know, you think you're going to do something one day and then it just rains and you can't do it. And then it might be even too wet the next day to do it. And then, so I think that's always a big hurdle for especially people who work outside. And then I'm not used to having to deal with that on top of it. So then it's irritating. I see the Harbor Freight 5 drawers already become flat surface. That was the other thing I was going to say. I haven't got to work on my garage a lot, and I also haven't done really anything with loading anything in here or anything like that. And I'm probably not even going to mess with that until, because I moved this toolbox out of here and down there. I'm going to move the stuff out of there into this. Or if I just so happen to have a free afternoon or something, I might come play around with it. But right now I'm getting pretty busy with work. And then, because right now I've been working on my garage and then just doing a little bit of work, but now I'm going to have to be doing normal workload and work on my garage and film YouTube videos and, you know, this and that. So my time's going to be a little hard pressed over the next little bit. You need a local buddy to come over. Well, my one buddy that I work with a lot is, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of this at all without him helping me. That's for sure. Like by myself. And you know, Miss Maintenance is a hard worker. I'll put her against anybody, but there's just some limitations on, you know, lifting up something that weighs, you know, 200 pounds or whatever. She's not going to be able to help me do that. Steve Stark says the Klein Mini Ratchet and bit set is for sale on Amazon right now. This one right here is on Amazon. The 32787S. Let me look real fast. Klein 32787S. Yep, $24.98. October 13th delivery. So I'll put a link in the description. Looks like redigging footage was pain. Yeah, that was the worst thing that happened. Was, well, the hardest thing so far has been digging the footage. But again, that was a choice by me digging them by hand, only because I could get a guy out here with an excavator, but all their buckets of everybody else I knew, none of them had a mini excavator. They just had like either a backhoe or, you know, whatever, and their buckets were really, really big, which wouldn't have been a big deal. It's just going to cost you more in concrete, but it was also going to mess up I would have had to dig out more to the sides than what I did to make that work. And I already had my like boards for my string lines up, and there's just all sorts of things. And I just decided I was going to do it. But then it raining and having to redo it, that was a big downer. do something real fast here. Actually, it doesn't have the, I can't do that anyways. Come on. Tool collector ordered his off House of Tools. I order from them, but I do like the very first thing I ordered from them was a pair of Knipex forged wire strippers, I believe. Maybe they came out because I know they came out like in the comfort grip. That's the first pair I bought, and then later on they came out in the dip grip. And I never paid attention, but now if I see that extended handling time, I'll email them and ask them, do you have a rough idea of when you think you're going to get this? Because that means they don't have it, but they're just going to take it. Like that's basically their version of the pre-order. Like you can go on Acme Tools and it'll say pre-order expected to ship November 1st or, you know, whatever else. That's essentially what House of Tools version of the extended handling may be required. Because I ordered something on there. I don't remember what it was, but it was like 2 or 3 months before I got that thing. So if I see that, sometimes I still go ahead and order it, and then sometimes I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna wait and see if it comes out on Amazon or, you know, wherever else. Surprised you're not gonna get the Klein Speed Square. I didn't buy it, but my buddy got it the other day when we were in Lowe's. We were there picking up something. Oh, the studs for that wall I framed up. Ordered my Occidental tool belt through House of Tools just to get the free Klein tool sign. Yeah, if you're going to spend, like, their stuff cost $5 more or something along those lines, but they do have a good, like, if you spend X amount of dollars, you get to pick something free thing. And so that's where I got that clock that doesn't work, but that's not on House of Tools. It's just a bad clock. But the like you can get some free stuff that you would like to have type thing, and it only is really going to cost you, if you're going to buy a tool anyways, it's worth spending $5 more on a tool if you're going to get, you know, a free clock or they got glasses and hats and, you know, all kinds of stuff on there. Yeah, I know I'm going to mod the 5 drawer to where I don't have to open and do this latch stuff on here. Which I saw one video where a guy just wedged some nuts or something like that up inside there and kind of kept it. But I don't know if it's going to work on this. That might have been an older gen mod box or older gen 5 drawer box than what this one is, because unless he used a different size, which I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it, but I tried it with some I just had laying over here close by and it wasn't working. Just been seeing Klein cast iron skillets recently. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if you're joking or if you're being serious. They pretty much have been throwing their name on everything. You can remove the plastic piece. That's probably what I'll do then. Because it's gonna. I can't tell you how many times I've came over here already and sitting there. I'm gonna end up breaking off the plastic piece one of these times because I'm gonna grab it and. Matt's got the Klein dustpan. That's one of those. That's something that could be in the Alanis Morissette ironic video, like in the lyrics. Like an electrician with the Klein dustpan. Lexi's heading out to camp too. That's where I just got back from, Lexi. I did get something to go into my, you can kind of see it, SC45. And then I've got something I'm going to use this week that I'm going to review. It's in my truck that I've been waiting until I did some work to review it. So I'll be able to use it this week. I've had it for probably a month just sitting around waiting to use it. That clock is right twice a day. Won't be long. It will be right, I think, right? Yeah, 5:45. Here in another 43 minutes. Look underneath the 5 drawer. The plastic pieces can be removed. I'm going to definitely remove mine then because I also feel like I'm going to break these just in general. But I know I will eventually just because I'm going to come over here and jerk on it. And then I also don't like how like it's, which I guess it's not that way except for on the, yeah, just the two top ones or the top half ones being a left and a right. So then you come over to the drawer. I guess you just got to get your brain to say, go to the outside of the drawer, like outside of the box. But the fact that one's on one side and one's on the other messes me up. Yeah, so I ordered I didn't know Menards was this way either. So that I came back into town on Thursday to meet with that customer, and then I ended up going and picking up those 7 foot sheets. So Menards, if you order something online, because it said special buy or something or other. So I was like, well, I'm gonna be gone, but I'll just go ahead and buy them, and then I'm gonna go pick them up Monday whenever I go back into town. But then the way Menards works is like, so if I got on there and I ordered 50 sheets of this stuff, and then it said your sheets are here and available. How do they word it? Come on in and get them. We don't basically they don't pull your stuff and hold it or anything. Like it's there. You've paid for it. But if somebody else was to come in and just go back there and get the sheets, I guess they can come get them. I don't know. I don't know if it comes off their inventory or how that works. So I don't. But basically, I felt like, well, I better go down there and get them. So I went and got them that next day. Whenever I was already in town, anyways, I wasn't planning on it. But Lowe's and Home Depot pull your stuff at least, and then it's there with your name on it or do whatever. I think Jeff said I need to get the Vera Advent Calendar black and red for your collection. The colors are nice. That's why I said whenever I saw them, I'm like, man, I'm hoping that maybe every now and then they don't sell. I don't know if I'll get it before Christmas. It's a gamble because like last year it got cheaper because I guess they had a lot of them left over. And I'm thinking since this one's so expensive, they might not sell as many of them. So maybe I'll get it cheaper if I wait till after Christmas. But then again, it's a gamble. They might sell them all, and then you won't be able to find one. So they pull your stuff is why Lowe's lost 100 blackout 11-1s. Yeah, because then I felt like, which like I said, it may be at Menards because the way Menards is, you can't really just drive like you have to have a receipt to drive back in there to pick up your stuff. So it may very well be that like I think it said they had 98 of these. I ordered 50, and it may very well be that they take that 50 out of their inventory to where if somebody goes in that store to buy some, they'll be like, well, we only got, however many left of that, 42 or whatever that is. But or 48. But I don't know how that works. So I didn't want a chance. Well, because plus, like I said, I don't think that's the normal price of what I bought. It said special buy, and I wanted to go ahead and buy it before it went off sale or something like that. Because it was, like I said, it was half price of an 8 foot sheet. Anyone shop at Harry J. Epstein online can find some good deals on there occasionally. I've never have. There was something that somebody, the Philo screwdriver, was that where that one was at? I think somebody sent me a link to the Philo insulated driver. I think it was K1W3 Kiwi. And I think I made a post about it. I think that might have been the website, but I could be wrong. Matt said, yeah, and they ran out before I could get it. Yeah, I've never had heard of them before that, and I haven't really looked around their website any. Even with that, I just kind of followed that link. That's like sometimes there's usually whenever I search for a tool, there's always the cheapest price is normally the Chad's Toolbox, which I know some of you have bought from there, like because I've asked a few of you. I still have never bought anything from there. And then there's also like is it a Mr. Tools or something like that? Usually comes up in the Google search results. And I've never bought from either one of those. And I've never known anybody really that personally had, so that's why I don't buy anything from them, because I'm always leery if it's the cheapest price and then it's also a place I haven't heard of. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know anything about them, so. Clint said he's ordered from both. They're always usually like one of the top results on Google as far as if I hit the shopping button. Like a lot of times I'll put in a part number and just hit the shopping button and see what the top prices are or whatever. And usually it'll bring up, Home Depot, Lowe's, Acme, and then usually Chad's Toolbox, Mr. Tools. So Matt said that Harry's sells a lot of new stock, old stock. I mean, stuff that you can find like USA made tools and stuff. Yeah, I'll have to look that up then. A lot of times I search eBay for I just type vintage and then type in a brand name tool and just start looking at old tools. There's very few of them that are in the kind of shape where I'd buy them, but it's just that's a fun search in my opinion, just going through looking at old stuff of different brands. TPG said no tools yet in October. Did spend $80 on cat food today. Yeah, I've got a tool from somebody that's being released the 15th of October that I still have to make a video for. And then I got something from somebody and they said not to make a video yet. And then I've got a thing that I'm going to try to make a video maybe tomorrow, or at least get the footage. Some of the footage, most of the video is going to be here, and then some of the footage I'm going to get while I'm working using it. $80 on cat food sounds normal to me. Blue Buffalo is expensive. Yeah, even cat food and all that kind of stuff's getting high. All food's gotten crazy high. Like you go to the grocery, it's definitely a lot more expensive. I don't think I put anything in here. No. I do wish, which I guess that's probably why these got those little clips. I do wish that this cart had the automatic shutting drawer type thing. It's still a very nice cart for $197 though. I'm looking around thinking I got some other stuff that I was going to say, but I don't think so. The thing I bought for my SC45, I'll probably make a video for that this week too. I got it, and it was it wasn't that it didn't work, but it didn't work fully the way that it was supposed to, so I had to send it back and get another one. When the things I sent you, you can make one. What was it I just said I was going to make? I already forgot what I said, Clint. That's going to make me make sense. I had to go back and watch. Have you practiced flicking open your new knife? No, I did get it a lot better. I got it back in the box, I think now. I put it back in the box, but loosening it up helped a whole lot. As I'll probably end up giving this away just so y'all know ahead of time. I keep stuff for a little while just in case people ask me questions. But I probably won't keep this. I'll probably do it in a giveaway. Because sometimes I'll get stuff like this if they ask, even though it might not be something, it ain't that I couldn't use this and wouldn't use this. I just know I'm probably not going to. It's just not my thing. But I'll get stuff like this because I know one of y'all might really want it. But yeah, I can flip it a little bit better. But it's still just not normal to me. You got to get the little oomph into it. But once I loosened this, big difference. Like it was way too tight to do that before. Like, I mean, I was getting like an imprint on my thumb from it. But you got to get that little extra, and every now and then it still doesn't do it. Worth it for the little, oh yeah. Did you get metered for your SC45? Yeah, I picked up one of the options that we had been talking about. Oh, something to help me make videos. When the thing I sent you, you can make, oh, the thing you sent me, I can make a video. Okay, I got you. Lexi's got one of those Fiskars knives. I do not use it though. It's too cute. I thought you were saying, so is it Friskers or did you meant to say Fiskars? Or is it Friskars? You're all talking about cats and knives at the same time. I've got that one. What do I do with that? It might be on that toolbox probably. I've got that one Fiskars knife. I don't like the belt clip on it. It's way too tight. Again, this. I always leave it laying around here on my bench. I use it all the time, just grabbing it, but I don't like it in my pocket because I don't like how tight the clip is. So I don't ever use it for that. I just had it out here the other day. Boom, some way. Boom. I like the size of this one better than that ion version. But I like the way that ion version flicks better. I know y'all know what Fiskars knife I'm talking about, but it normally is standing right here in my face. I must have it sitting somewhere where it's the one everybody's got. How are casters holding up? So far, so good. I haven't really moved it a lot, though, but it does make, I mean, it's a world of difference getting something like, you know, can't really see, but like I can move this right back over in that corner. Even just like if I'm working on one side, just to spin it around if you want to sometimes, because with my other toolbox, to spin it around, if you've got those two fixed wheels, you've got to have quite a bit of space to be able to do that. So I think if you're, it probably would make it a little harder, like to move it around a job site like that is like a big warehouse or something, because it's going to kind of, as you're going on long walks to somewhere or something, you know, you're going to have to maybe hold it a little bit straighter and all that kind of stuff. But I think if you're working in a semi, you know, smaller type space all the time, I can't imagine not putting them on there. But I don't have any kind of weight in it yet either, so I don't know how that's going to affect anything. Michael had the Kaiweets pin meter, but it snapped in half in your bag. That's the one I think I kept thinking I had that one. I kept looking for it, but then I think I gave it away. Somebody was telling me that they was pretty sure I gave it away last time, because I was thinking I did that in a giveaway, like in one of the lives where we just had questions and all that kind of stuff. I think I had that in there. So it's a Baby Fiskars Pro. Try the little one. So do you get that? Do you get that baby one? Is it at Lowe's or? Because my Home Depot's got some Fiskars stuff too, but I don't think I've ever seen like the knives and stuff there. Long walks with tool cart. Are you dating and holding hands? Other than tearing up my hand on the corner of the blade, the 9 Ti EDC utility knife is ridiculous. Same listing on Amazon. Okay, so it's on Amazon. I'll look it up. So does it take, what kind of blades does it take? Does it take your regular utility blades or like a smaller proprietary one or something, since it's smaller? Same. Yeah, that's my big thing about like this kind of knife. I mean, I like them, and you know, I could sharpen them if I wanted to and do all that kind of stuff. It's just for work purposes, I'm not gonna mess with that, because I know myself enough. I'm gonna end up working with a dull knife all the time, because I don't have enough time while I'm working to sit there and just sharpen it. Or I know I'm not going to take the time to do that because I'm wanting to get the job done. So the utility blades is the best thing for working for me. Now, if you were, you know, going somewhere in the woods or doing whatever, yeah, you would want to carry, you know, that kind. What's up, plumbing? With keys. Yeah, the clip on that other Fiskars that I've got is like, I mean, it's almost molded into the handle. I can't hardly get it on anything, even on my vest or whatever else. It's very, very hard. Normally I've got it. I've been stretching it out, or at least trying to stretch it out, because I clip all my knives on the side of this, like that way. I've got all sorts of extra fastbacks out here. And normally that Fiskars one's normally sitting right there, but like I said, I had it out. I remember I was just cutting something with it yesterday, so I'm sure it's on one of my little work tables or something over here. Might even be in my vest. I don't think so. but I normally clip it on the side of those. Put me in the weeds. But yeah, I'm waiting I guess that M18 Surge, I think the Acme tool date on that one was the November 1st on the pre-order. I didn't order it through them yet or pre-order it. I always go there and kind of look and see what the date is. And I figure, well, Home Depot's probably going to get it about that same time too, just to give me an idea. That's the only tool that's going to be coming out in the next little bit that I can think of. That's like, yeah, I'm probably going to buy that as soon as it comes out type thing. But because then I'm going to leave my other M18 Surge probably in here and use it as my main thing that I use out here in the garage and stuff, and take the M12 in the house. But I haven't seen anything else. The Flex deals today was really good too. I didn't make a post because I didn't have a signal at the time whenever I found it enough to go through that whole process. It was pretty hard for me to even pull it up, but I had like a compact bandsaw, a rotary hammer, what was the other tools? They were more in that specialty type tool thing, but they were like $129, but they were on that buy more, save more thing too. And they didn't have like a battery kit or anything available at the same time with bigger batteries. Like I think they've got like a 2 amp hour battery, but you can't really buy a 2 amp hour battery to run a rotary hammer off of or anything like that. So I wasn't going to mess with getting that, but that wasn't a bad deal. I didn't think on those kind of tools. I would have bought the Flex 6.5, that inline little saw, if I could have found a battery adapter for M18. Because I don't want to get into more batteries. Ooh, I see the Fiskars knife over here in my glove box. Yeah, this one's the one I've got. And that right there, like, it's very hard to get that onto your like pants pocket and stuff. I don't that's the reason why I don't carry this. I like the knife, like I like the feel of it, and to be able to do it with this and all that. It flicks open and close pretty well. I like that too, but I just don't carry it because of the belt clip. Like I like everything about the knife with the belt clip. Like I said, I've been putting it up here hoping I was going to stretch it out some over time because it takes a little bit for me to even be able to get it on this. But then I leave it on there. Flex rear handle saw is the other. Yeah, that's right. It was a rear handle saw. So like all those, like for that kind of a tool for that price, and especially if you take that buy more, save more, it's a pretty good deal. Plumbing wants the new Surge, but my wife may kick me out. I use my M18 Surge quite a bit. Like I said, I don't use it on any of my service type stuff or any of that, but anytime I'm doing, and like I said, it's more so runtime. Me personally, I feel like the M18 Surge and the M12 Surge is the same exact tool as far as the actual like driver part. It's just a matter of being able to put a 5 amp hour battery, like M18 battery on it. It lasts, way longer than any of the M12 ones. If you're doing like framing and, all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're just doing small stuff, both of them last all day long. Jeff said that's the American electrician's favorite knife. Like I said, I like the knife. I like the feel of it. It's a little bit thick for me personally as a everyday thing too, I think. But that's again because I'm used to the fastback. I hate that belt clip. Like every time I try to get it on my pocket on my pants, it won't go. I've got to sit there and try to take my thumb and spread it out. Not a lot coming out. I've been wanting to be honest, Plumbing said. Stop ignoring Someway's comments. What'd Someway say? He just said plumbing. He said keys. Oh, that little Fiskars is like the Tough Built. I didn't see him ask a question. He asked Clint if he had a crawl space. I saw that, but I didn't answer that because I'm not Clint. Miss Maintenance is telling me to stop ignoring Someway. Steel clips are not like denim pants. They just stretch out by leaving it on something. You gotta actively use Little Debbie to stretch it. Yeah, I'm afraid that because it's just super tight. I think, I could obviously bend it and make it, but then I think it's going to be too loose or sticking out to the point where it's going to bug me because it's kind of flared out on the end. TPG's about to have dinner. Somebody said, thanks, Mom. We'll see you, Lexi. So I'm hoping that I get to work on some siding this week. But again, just depends on how it all goes. I know that I've got like 3 or 4 bids out there that I'm sure they're all going to hit all at one time. That's what they always do. So now my work's getting into my garage building time. Miss Maintenance won't come out here with me. She's too busy watching football. We were watching the Alabama Vanderbilt game was what we was watching before I came out here. She won't come out here. I beat her so bad in hand and foot at the camp that before we left, she's still taking it pretty hard. So, yeah, we played a lot of hand and foot. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that. It's kind of like a rummy type-ish game. And then some of them are playing rook. Some of them are playing spades. We play a lot of card games while we're there in between. Like we have like some speaking things and eating and all that kind of stuff. But then in between time, we just play games and all that kind of stuff. She spent too much time with me at the camp. Boys versus girls didn't go well. We put the beat down on them. It was actually me and my youngest son. So the community I've been working at is almost done. Not sure where or when I'll have work again. Jeff said, did we try that coffee? No, not yet. It's in the house. I haven't got to it yet. And we didn't take it up there with us. So as not to spoil the guesses. So that's why he bleeped out stuff, Clint. He's still leaving you in lingo on the guess the trade. I'm trying to think of, I don't have it normally. I've got it wrote up here on my board, but we're behind now, so it's not the upcoming. Because normally on Thursday I know what's going to be on Saturday, but I don't have the newest one out here. I was trying to think if I could remember who was going to be the next one on the guess the trade. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I ate so much this weekend. I'm miserable right now, and I didn't even eat anything the last little bit before we left. Non-stop. Is there two red totes in the thumbnail? You're the guess the trade thumbnail or the thumbnail to this video, to the live. I don't remember what I posted the live video. The live thumbnail was based upon we were talking. A group of us were talking about what do you call Cokes? Is it Cokes, cola, pop, soda, all that kind of stuff? And everything we call everything here a Coke. And it doesn't have to be Coke or Coca-Cola, actual like Coke to be called Coke. So like this Squirt Zero is a Coke to me, like it's a version of a Coke, not a version of a cola, not a version of a soda or a pop, but this is a Coke. The next guess the trade. I don't remember. I said I'm trying to. I basically every time somebody emails me, I take your name and the photos and I put them in a folder inside of a guess the trade folder on my computer, and then I put like say some way you were number, and I reuse the number so it didn't necessarily the episode, but like 48, and then the next person I get an email from. I make a folder 49. I put their name on it and put their pictures in it, and that's how I've been doing. It's just going by first come first serve on those. Like, unless the only time I've kind of went out of the order is if like say you only had like 5 pictures, the next person had 50 pictures, and then the next person after that had 5 or 6 pictures. I'll take those 2 smaller ones and put them together, and then that kind of a thing. Normally, it's just whoever the order that somebody has emailed me is typically how I go about doing the videos. Fries are going in the air fryer. I think that means about 15 minutes. Pop in Michigan, soda on the West Coast. All sodas in Texas are Cokes, even Dr. Pepper. Jeff said some way where in Texas, because I think of course, Jeff's in Texas too. So I want to say Jeff said everything was something. I don't remember what Jeff even said earlier. So I'm curious to see if Someway and Jeff are both in Texas. Is it different in different parts of Texas? I want to say Jeff said it was same way, just everything's Cokes. Big Red Champagne. Yeah, Big Red's my favorite, probably Coke. Like I don't drink it all the time, but like I get on kicks of it where I drink it. And Jeff was saying he likes Big Red Zero, but it's pretty hard to find Big Red Zero. Like this is a Squirt Zero, but for some reason the Big Red Zeros sometimes Big Red's even hard to find. Like used to, it was a pretty common thing here. I want to say even like I guess it's an RC product, I think, or used to be. Maybe it's not now, because RC was what was really big where I lived for a really long time. Like I'm talking about going back before I was even born, type thing. And then so like all the RC products you could usually find quite easily, but Big Red's gotten a little bit harder to find here and there. Like I'll go in Kroger sometime and they don't even have it, like in 2 liters or in cans or anything. Some gas stations I go in has it, some don't. Or used to, it was like everywhere you went, and even Kroger even had a generic version of it for a long time. That Big K stuff in the like red cream soda or something like that. And they don't have that anymore. Abraham's seen Big Red, never tried it though. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. And I think I've said it on here before, like the Barq's BARQS, like they've got a root beer. They also had a red cream soda back whenever I was in, like, I remember at least whenever I was in middle school. I don't remember if I remember seeing it much whenever I was in high school, but I used to always get it out of the Coke machines at the school whenever I was at basketball practice and all that kind of stuff. And that was my favorite, but I haven't seen that in a long time. Abraham, I never liked RC Cola. Yeah, I've not been. I don't like Coca Cola. Is the only like what I call black cola. You know, like black Coke. That's the only one that I like is Coca Cola. I don't like Pepsi. I don't like RC. I like RC better than Pepsi, but I don't. It's not. I like. I want. If I'm going to drink black Coke, is what I call it. I prefer Coke. And actually, I drink Coke Zero. The tool collector hates Kroger. Food and sweets. Here we go. Miss Maintenance said Big Red and Little Debbie's gonna make her a young widow. Coca-Cola from McDonald's is unbeatable. A lot of people say that. I can't remember the last time, in all honesty, that I've been to McDonald's. I think I was just talking about that the other day with somebody. I honestly have no idea, like when the last time I've ate McDonald's food. Period. Plumman says it's soda, and he loves Dr. Pepper. There's a lot of people around here that are Mountain Dew people. Like you've got your Mountain Dew people that's all they drink is Mountain Dew. You can usually tell a Mountain Dew person just by looking at them sometimes. But Mountain Dew people, and then that's not always the case because my buddy actually drinks Mountain Dew all the time. Dr. Pepper people, like that's all they drink. Like I'm one that I'll drink a multitude of things. Sometimes I even like certain stuff with certain things. Like if we're eating popcorn, like usually I like the Coca-Cola. Like, but if I'm just drinking a drink, I don't like the black Coke type stuff. I like, other stuff or whatever. So there's certain things I like certain things with. But most people who drink Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew, that is like it. They don't even drink anything else most of the time. Mick D, I hate that I love the fries. Big Red's supposed to taste like bubble gum, but it's a taste of its own. Yeah, I don't get a bubble gum taste from it. It is kind of hard to explain, what it is, I guess, though. Because it's not really like it's cherry or, it's, something like that. I mean, I don't even know what you'd kind of say that it is. Snapple original iced tea is your crutch in life, Plumman said. Michael said that's me, Mountain Dew only. Yeah, the buddy I work with on my garage and I work with on some jobs, like bigger jobs, he really likes the Mountain Dew. He only drinks diet, but he likes that Mountain Dew Baja, like zero, like you can get it in cans. That's what he likes the most now. But he either always drinks that or Mountain Dew. Cola and pretzels, orange soda and Cheez-Its, root beer and peanuts. Yeah, there is for sure certain foods where I like a specific soda drink, Coke, Cola, pop. But then there's sometimes like it's more so with certain foods. And then if I'm just drinking one, I'm not real picky. But I don't typically like the black ones unless I'm eating something specific. And it's usually like with something really salty. No, Mountain Dew is far and away its own thing. Nobody hangs out with the Mountain Dew people. Baja Blast is my favorite Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew's got a lot of different flavors. They just don't have a lot of them in the like they've got a red one, like Code Red or something like that. I've also saw a couple orange ones in the store now. I think I've seen a purple one at some point in time. I've never tried any of those because he's always got them, but he always, like I said, he only drinks Diet and Zeros, and those are always in the like full-fledged, flavor. Orange soda for pizza, a childhood thing, I think. I used to drink a lot of orange and grape. And like I said, the knee-high peach, I said at the beginning, I remember knee-high peach. That was one I drank a lot whenever I was younger. But we used to be grape soda and orange soda were the two I probably drank the most as a kid. And I don't drink them that much anymore. Now the A&W cream soda, that's pretty good. Like not just the root beer, but the cream soda version. But that is a super sweet one too. Like that one's probably sweeter than Big Red is. First the Japanese, then the Chinese, and now black. We got to talk. Do you use your regular phone for lives and recording? Yeah. So I'm not getting any. If you've been sending me text or sending things, I won't get it till I close this out because it won't even let me. That's why I went to get in the group text on this or a text on this, and I wasn't. It won't let me do that on my iPad. It has to be on my phone. Speaking about cream sodas, not good. I like about any glass bottle soda. Yeah, it is better. And I'm the way. I don't really like very many drinks out of the 20-ounce plastic bottles. Like, it's not my preferred thing. Sometimes that's what you got to get at a gas station. My favorite way to drink a Coke is in a can out of a cooler with ice because it is like as cold as you like. It's like a totally different experience than even just drinking this like out of my refrigerator. If you have this in a cooler with ice and you get it out, you drink it. Every Coke tastes 1,000 times better. Lewis said Big Red is my love. It's my favorite. It's by far my favorite. $1.25 Tree has some Orange Dream. It's good. Plastic bottles always seem more flat. Yeah, there's just something about them. They just don't taste the same. And then there's certain drinks where like Big Red's a big one. Like again, because that's what I'll get if I go to a gas station and they've got like the cups where you get your ice and the fountain drinks and all that. Some of them will have Big Red, but like it's one of those where if the mix is off at all, it's terrible. And if sometimes it's better. Like sometimes that mix is off, but it makes it way better. Like there's a gas station up the road here that the Big Red is way better than anywhere else. And then some places you'll get it and it's like, this is gross. So sometimes the fountain drink stuff is iffy. The plastic bottles I usually never like drinking out of. I prefer a can or a glass bottle, but my favorite thing is a can out of a cooler of ice. Big Red sweet. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's probably, I don't know though. It's kind of weird. It is sweet, but it's also like in my mind it's not because Miss Maintenance says that it's way too sweet, but it's still like it's like an orange soda to me tastes sweeter than Big Red does. I don't know what it's like the after effect of it. Like the Big Red is kind of sweet while you're drinking it, but it's not the same for some reason. I don't know how to explain it though. To me, Big Red in a glass bottle in Austin is life changing. We got a bunch of Texans in here tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of them I drunk whenever I was younger. I don't drink as much now. Like I like root beer. Like that was a big thing I drunk when I was a kid was root beer. Someplace had root beer, and then Orange and grape, I don't drink as much as. It's not something like if I go into a gas station, I'm not going to buy an orange and grape or root beer. But then again, I'm also usually buying a Monster or something like that. So Texans can keep their 90-degree temps. I think I wouldn't like Big Red. Don't like really sweet sodas. I like regular Mountain Dew as my limit. No red or blue. Let's see. What was I getting ready? Somebody said something I was getting ready to say. Just went over my head. Oh, they've got a. They do have a Big Blue. I don't like it. I don't even know what it's supposed to be, like as far as what the flavor is supposed to be. Which actually, like I said, I don't know what the flavor of Big Red really is. I don't think I could explain it, but I don't like the Big Blue as well. They do have a Big Blue now. Something showing up on that. So Doggo lived in Texas for 8 years, and then in 2011, a third of the year was over 100 degrees, bugged out quick. Yeah, we've had a few hot summers here. Like our summers have been a little hotter here than what they have been, but it gets kind of humid here, more so than the heat, like temperature type thing. And it's, again, I'm sure it's nothing like Louisiana or anything like that, but it's more so that. I mean, we'll get the hundreds and the high 90s and all that kind of stuff, but it's like you can't walk outside without changing your shirt. Like it's just you sweat profusely no matter what. My shirt collar's rippling. Yeah, I got the Milwaukee Packout fan blowing on me over here. 81 today here, or 81 in here. I don't know what it was outside. Miss Maintenance said you won't catch her living in the deep south. Yeah, we usually never, like for summery vacations or anything like that. Miss Maintenance doesn't like beaches and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't want to go anywhere where it's hot. So we usually go. We've ended up going north the last several vacations. Tool Collector said move to Georgia, Amanda. She can't drive there. She lost her license. $10 over 100, but usually low humidity or humidity, not humility. She's still banned there. Actually, I don't think it was till you might not be banned yet. I guess you could technically be driving there now. There's a certain date where if you don't pay that extra amount, you can't drive in Georgia anymore. Austin is subtropical, not as humid as Houston, but damp. Yeah, I'd say y'all for sure are definitely hotter, like in the overall thing for sure than what we end up getting. That's why I said I'm not going to say that it's hot to a bunch of people who are in the humid to what a lot of people in the South like deal with. Fight the system. Yeah, there's a lot of them states that have that super speeder stuff. Like after you start looking into it, I know Florida. I think has it. A couple other people on here said something about it too. Well, it's crazy even how much like the regular ticket is, and then on top of it to pay that. And I don't think she wasn't going that fast, which she would have still got this. She was going fast enough to get the super speeder ticket. She wasn't going as fast as what the ticket was. But it's like, uh, are you going to go all the way to Georgia to fight it? No, that's why they know that. That's why they do that. She's not just a speeder, Plumbing. She's a super speeder. According to the state of Georgia, she is a super speeder. Lock Camera said the speed limit's just a suggestion in Florida. Yeah, it's not really like, I don't think, I very rarely see people pulled over for speeding in Kentucky. Like, I mean, maybe, we can drive on the interstate, even go all the way to, the next city up or whatever. And I very rarely see somebody even pulled over. Like, but you drive from here to Florida or whatever, and you go through Georgia, it's nonstop blue light, blue light, blue light. What's up, Lance? So no new tools from an actual store or anything in the last little bit. Like I said, there hadn't been a lot come out. The toolbox is the newest thing I actually bought, other than some small stuff. But those aren't really anything crazy. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of stuff come out that I'm just like, oh, I gotta have that. TPG's heard the kitchen timer. I probably won't be on here for a lot longer anyways, TPG, so go eat your french fries. Matt said too much traffic to speed there. Yeah, every now and then there's little spots where police will park kind of where we live, like, but you kind of know where they are. They just sit out there. The school zones in the morning is the only place where like they're always there every morning. So like if you're driving through a school zone and you're speeding, you're gonna get pulled over. But other than that, that's about the only time I see people kind of pulled over for that kind of stuff. But you already know every morning when you're going through a school zone, you're going to see them sitting there basically making sure you're not speeding. So it's like you just don't speed in school zones. Matt HMM said the Joey pouches, yeah. He said the holstery Joey pouches are in his Lowe's. So, like these that I've been having to buy, they're now hitting Lowe's along with, I think, Magmaster clips and all that kind of stuff, I think. And then, yeah, Vito bags and stuff you can get online on Lowe's. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can get online at Lowe's that, unless you even thought about searching it, like they're starting to sell more stuff that's kind of always either just been on Amazon or some, and Home Depot's the same way. Like I think you can even get Vito bags on Home Depot's website too now. I'm pretty sure. Some ways got the firm grip daily pouch with belt. Return the nail pouch because it's too huge. I've got mine out there. I had to answer somebody, so I took it out there. It's in my truck. I clipped it onto the side of the SPMC. Somebody had asked that question about how that firm grip pouch I got clips onto the side, and it doesn't. It's a little bit wider than the SPMC. So, like if the SPMC is this, that firm grip probably, comes out past it and stuff. But as far as touching the, like while you've got it set on the floor, that nail pouch doesn't touch the floor, so you could use it as a side pouch on the SPMC if you wanted to. Bell has sounded and he's been some. We'll see you, TPG. Michael said it'd be nice to see him get more in the store at Lowe's. Yeah, I'd like to see like a bigger store get Vito bags just so it's you're more likely to be able to go in there and look at them type thing. I don't think that a Vito bag will do very well in a Home Depot and Lowe's. I think the supply houses are probably the better fit for them because I mean, not that I'll go buy one at Lowe's and Home Depot because I'm in there all the time, but the normal person that goes into Home Depot and Lowe's, as far as at least where I live, that's what I've kind of said about like the USA Milwaukee pliers and all that kind of stuff. I think I will go in there and I will spend $10 more or whatever on a pair of USA Milwaukee diagonals over the other ones. But the common person that goes into Home Depot and Lowe's, if you see a pair of diagonals over here that's even the same brand, and this one here and this one's $10, $15 more than this one, most people are going to grab that one. It's going to be the same thing with the tool bags. They're going to go in and see that Vito price tag and be like, no, I'm going to buy this Husky or this Cobalt or, whatever. I think, again, not that they won't sell some there, but I don't think they'll sell as many. Now, all the people that go buy them at the supply houses might end up going and buying them at Home Depot and Lowe's if they're a hair cheaper or something like that. Sadoggo got the Irwin Mini Cobra from Amazon, bigger than the Knipex, but not cumbersome. Somebody had to hunt for the firm grip. I actually meant to look because I ordered mine on Home Depot, but then they delivered it from my store. So mine must have some of those firm grip pouches in the store, but I forgot to look around in there the last time I was in there. I don't normally go to that little section of the tools because there's not really a lot there. But I meant to go look at the rest of them, and I forgot. And once I saw that is where mine came from, I thought, well, they probably got some other stuff there. Matt wants to see the holstered chest mod rig in person. Yeah, I like having stuff on my chest, like on my vest and stuff. This one right here actually kind of doesn't have enough spots right here for me. The Stratus or whatever it is that I use. This one's got I love this one though. I mean, I really do like this one. I use it all the time. This one's got all the webbing, but it ends up hitting more down here on the side, and I don't get as much stuff up in here. And I like to put stuff up in there so sometimes I clip my tape measures and stuff onto here in weird spots. But I don't think I'd like to just have stuff right here. Like I definitely want this for my impact and all that kind of stuff. Now you could probably put your like spider drill pin clip or holstery clip or whatever it is you use on your regular belt, and then use the chest rig for all that kind of stuff, and like use your regular belt for a Joey pouch, and probably get the same kind of thing. Michael said they had Knipex on the shelf, but they didn't sell like Cobalt and Ideal. Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. I think it was it was a live last time with Steve. I was saying about why Klein, why do they make their Cobras and their pliers wrench over in China or Taiwan or wherever it is that they make them, compared to why not the U.S. And like I said, it might be they know they're in Lowe's, and they know if our price point is not, they could probably make them in the U.S., but they're going to be in that same price point as Knipex, and they know that this bottom line is the Joeys of the world and the Steves of the world, they're going to go in there and buy them, but the other 90% of people are going to go in there and be like, no, I'm going to buy this pair of Cobalts because they're $10 cheaper and made in China. That's just how it's going to be. So I would like it that if they gave you the options, but again, it's a business when it all comes down to it. It stinks that it's that way, but that's just how it is, I think. Somebody said that they kept saying 0, but in person they had it, the firm grip. Terminator had a video on the new updated version of Holstery. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched any YouTube in the last 3 days, so whatever's come out in the last little bit, I haven't seen any of it. I'm not thrilled to order more Atlas. Yeah, I don't know that I've got 2 vests of my service vest, so I won't need any more of them, surely. Because, I mean, they're holding up fine. Like, I've got the one, sitting over there in the corner that you can kind of see past all my little black box over there with all the little trays. That's a spare. And my other one's holding up. I've had it for over a year probably now, and it still looks like the day I bought it, because I don't wear it in like nasty situations. And then this thing, I actually just washed it in the washing machine just the other day, and it's like brand new again too. So this right here, along with that, kind of covers almost everything I do. So I don't see myself probably buying anything like from them. Now I might buy something else, but I don't know that I definitely am not going to do the whole waiting a year thing for something. That's for sure. Hard to buy for $150 from Holstery, not be able to easily return it. Yeah, it's hard to buy anything for a lot of money, and then not even the Atlas stuff. I was so worried that, because I haven't worn the 1824 vest before, and it's not an adjustable vest. It's a size and a zipper. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to need the large and extra large. I'm not sure which one I'm going to need. And I've got to buy it for this amount of money. Now they have a return policy there. Like, you can return it, but it's like, but if you got to wait a year for it to find out that it isn't even the right size, and then, I need to return it and get the size bigger, or this one's too big, I need to get a size smaller. Now I got to wait another year to get that. It's like, it's just not feasible. It's not a feasible business like strategy. We'll see you, plumbing. Yeah, I'll probably stay on until about 6:15 or so. Then I got to get in. I got to actually work on a couple bids, get them typed up. Lance said, some way, what was the yellow thing that I was wondering about in the video? I was just kind of glanced through. He sent me an email answering all my questions. I haven't read through it 100% yet, but I think I want to say it was a knife blade dispenser for like the Olfa knife blades. You can correct me if I'm wrong some way, but I think I looked at that one. I just looked at his email right before I came out here. I didn't read all of it yet. I got some me and Miss Maintenance got some sleep to catch up on. We're old people. 3-day camp trip. Where you out? And the tool collector wants to know what you use that Olfa breakaway, or actually, obviously you use the breakaway blade thing to put your blades in, but what were you cutting with those blades before you put it in the breakaway tool bin? So I'd like to see about who else like we could get maybe to try the side-by-side lives. Now, I know that Tools with Tim, he commented, I think, on the live with me and Steve. I think he said he does something on Thursday nights. I don't remember if it was church or something along those lines. I don't remember what it was, but so it wouldn't. If we did it with him, it'd probably have to be on a different night than Thursday night. And then Ray's apartment maintenance. He's not been in here tonight. He's in here sometimes on Friday or on the Thursdays. I don't know if he'd be interested in doing it. But I kind of like that. I don't know that we'd want to do it like all the time, like every time or whatever. But it's just nice to have like someone else talking while you're reading while they're talking. You know, all those kinds of things. Since Miss Maintenance isn't a moderator for me, sleep's an adult's favorite thing. Cutting taffy, little girls named Debbie, beef, sailing canvases, Makitas. Jacob Palmer's a good guy, maybe a good live. And we can do Steve again, different times. I also like having the screen the other way, just because I can read the comments straight on at that point, and sometimes I don't like because then I still have to I still keep this open because sometimes while I'm talking I can't read and talk at the same time type thing. So I still sometimes have to scroll back, but at least sometimes while I'm talking, like I'll actually see the comment come up asking something or whatever it is. But I don't like doing it that way whenever I'm by myself, just because I know I don't like watching them that way. Like I don't like watching it looking like a short on my TV. Now, if you're on your phone, it probably doesn't make much difference, but like I don't like watching the ones that are just one person on my TV that's only like right in the middle of the screen. You could do a split screen with Doc and Sam's hands. Yeah, I have their hands in the background. What'd Sizzle say? I missed it. Burritos worn off. Need to go find dinner. Catch all you later. Yeah, I'm going to get off here in just a few minutes too, Jeff. So any new tools out there in y'all's world that you've been looking at that need to pique my interest? I'm pretty well dialed in on most of the stuff that comes out. So I don't know. But every now and then y'all come up, like I get plenty of suggestions all the time from you guys that I would have not known about had y'all not suggest them. So but I haven't seen a lot of stuff. Like even like the tool review zone just the other day had a video on the the M12 flashlight. And I mean, that's been out for quite a while now, it seems like. I mean, I know I got it back when it first came out, but I still ordered mine through the store. I always assume those guys get the stuff like early. So I was pretty shocked to see him come out with that, like as if it was a new thing. But what I'm saying is, even like the ones who normally get the tools a little bit earlier haven't really put out anything new that I've seen. The Weehaw 3/8 drive sets. Oh, like in the Doc's video. I haven't watched that one yet. I did see the thumbnail. Comparing it to like the Klein Grab and Go, I think. Yeah, I got a lot of YouTube to catch up on. The aluminum seal gun. Red vessels. The Crimsons or something like that. I think it was, I think Terry Burton sent me the red vessels and then I sent them to you because I knew you'd probably want them. It worked, but the new aluminum one looks more promising, less flex. I've only got that the one that I've got. I've only used it a handful of times. Like it's been very rare. But most of the time I'm working out. Whenever I'm caulking, it's like whole spaces, baseboards, whatever. And I've got plenty of room. Like it's very rare. Like sometimes if it's getting in back behind a toilet or something like that. The one thing I don't like about it is that it cuts your the tube, the way that it works. You know, it puts that slice and stuff in it. And then sometimes if you don't need to use a lot and then you go to try to use it in another caulk gun, it can be a little bit of a pain. Popcorn for dinner. Miss Maintenance is always wanting popcorn, and she always wants me to make it. She she says it tastes better whenever I make it. Everything tastes better when somebody else makes it. I mean, you can have a sandwich if somebody else makes it, it tastes better. A salad if somebody else makes it, it tastes better. It's not that it's any different. You just didn't have to make it. Check out the cute utility knife. I do got some stuff coming in. Well, I hope I've got some stuff coming in the mail from Lowe's. I ordered it. I'll see. They haven't canceled it yet, anyways. Popcorn and Little Debbie's are our love language. I'm sure I am. Most of the time, I don't. The Discord thing. I'm just gonna be honest with you on the Discord thing. I'll get on there and open the general tab and see what's on there, but it would take me 2 years to get caught up on Discord already, where y'all are in the Discord. So I don't know if I'll ever get caught up on that because I always got to get caught up on the group thing, and then I got to get caught up on the just YouTube comments in general, and then I'm like every now and then I'll have time to look at the general on the Discord, but all the other stuff it's pretty far few and far between whenever I get to that. Speaking of sandwich, what do you do? I make sandwiches. He works for Subway. Now Subway, I I had I don't know if man, I bet I don't have it on my iPad though. Maybe I do. Let me look and see. I might have that. I was gonna say it might still be in here. I bet I just deleted it though. We had an AI picture that was some way, but in the Subway logo, and I was gonna do that on your thumbnail for the guess the trade, but I didn't know if you'd get upset about it, so I didn't. I don't have it in here though. I thought I saved it. I thought I had it on my iPad because I had it in there in case I was gonna put it in there. Clint sent me some things from Lowe's. Yeah, AI made a really good. Man, I wish I had it like on my. It's on my phone, but it's not on my. Actually, I might have deleted it off my phone too. I don't know if I did or not. It won't let me. I don't think it'll let me pull up the group message thing. Yeah, it looked really good. It was AI made it, and it looked really good. It had this. It looked like it said Subway, but it looked just like the Subway logo. And then I think underneath of it, it said not a sandwich. Yeah, email it to him. Yeah, I can. I think I've still got it. I can email it to you. It was pretty funny. Well, I guess I'm gonna get off here. Go in there and make Miss Maintenance some popcorn, and then also make a glass of black Coke. But again, next Thursday isn't something where it's the Thursday after that one that might be another iffy live on the Thursday. We'll just have to see how it goes because we're doing something around then too. Just depends on when I get home and all that kind of stuff. So it might have to be another one of those where it gets pushed out to a different day or something along those lines. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, get inside, make some popcorn, watch some football or sports as Matt calls it, and get something to eat probably. But we'll see you guys on the next one.